Speed was good with it. Omen Podcast After Dark
starts now. By Grathpa's hammer, by the sons of Wolven, you shall be avenged. Welcome to Home Podcast After Dark, a Home podcast. My name's Daniel, and my co-host Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
Oh, Adam, what a beautiful rendition of a classic line from this classic movie, Galaxy Quest, that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to watch a good movie because we kind of go through a lot of trash on this feed.
Took us 4 years.
Yeah, we've never... I mean, I would have to go back and look at all the stuff we've done, but most of it has been, like, really, really bad stuff that neither of us had seen before, so we wanted to watch something good that we had seen before.
Yeah, this is pretty... So how many times have you seen Galaxy Quest before this watch?
You know what? I'm thinking, like, I probably had seen it all the way through a couple times, but then it's one of those bits and pieces movies where I was, like, watching it, and I was like, okay, I've seen this scene where they have to go through the different...
With the rock monster or something.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, yeah, you know, I watched it when it came on video, VHS, way back in the day, and I remember liking it. I think I probably liked it for different reasons than I do now. I don't know that I was getting the satire as much.
You loved Gwen DeMarco's boobs. That's what you liked.
I mean, you could just say love, frankly. I mean, that is, you know, it's always been one of my favorite parts of the movie. I do like her a lot.
Sigourney Weaver or Gwen DeMarco?
Both. I find them both very charming, attractive women. And I also find Tim Allen to be about as attractive as he's ever been in this movie.
He's a good-looking dude, and
he's tan. He's bulked up. It is great.
Funny how tan he is when he takes his shirt off. We'll get there and to many moments, but yeah, for me, I agree. Probably a bits and pieces type of thing. Maybe it was on TBS, the old Superstation, every once in a while or something.
Heard of it?
Yeah, but I'm sure I watched it in full, maybe once or twice, and then caught it in bits and pieces. So, a movie that I've never really sat down and looked at in a lot of detail or gotten a lot of the behind the scenes type of stuff. So I was interested to watch it again, and then especially go through the trivia. So we'll detail that among many things.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting podcast because you told me you don't have any notes and you didn't know what to talk about. So.
Well, I usually take pretty good notes for these just so that I can have something to talk about, but
you felt confident. You felt like you could just wing this one.
It's kind of hard to enjoy. It's kind of hard to enjoy something when you're taking notes, and I kind of just wanted to sit back and watch this, and I did, and I have no regrets. So don't even try to bring any out of me.
And it's not as complicated of a story where you have to write down like the details of Snake Chat, you know?
You're right, and it's not like Kid Nation where it's a little bit like. You know, just the twists and turns, it's sort of will leave you dazed if you don't just sort of hold on for your life.
You had to pause at every few moments to write down what was going on.
I mentioned this to you before. This is previously just kind of, we just do kid stuff on this, Kid Nation, First Kid, Kid in King Arthur's Court,
Goofy's Kid,
Soul Man Kids.
Man of the Kid House.
Oh, I love that one. That actually could have worked. Kid of the House. But yeah, we're talking some freaking adult crap, so buckle up, everybody.
Adult crap, but PG. This movie's rated PG.
Well, you probably didn't notice, and I only noticed because I watched the doc, and I'm going to be talking about how much I watched the doc.
Yeah, you're really going to drain that well dry, aren't you?
I saw the doc.
So I put in my glasses, and I turned on the... Okay, go ahead.
Whoa, jeez. Savage. But there's a part where, like, her and Gwen DeMarco and Jason go around the corner and like they see something in the spaceship, and it is very obviously like she's dropping an F-bomb, but they dubbed it for like screw that, but it was very obvious. And that was something I think that I did talk about a lot in the doc, is they made it much more family friendly, like editing wise, than it was probably intended to be. Like I think it was going to be more adult, more swearing, probably a little darker, and some of that darkness is still there in some of the scenes, but yeah, I think it was originally sort of planned on being more of an adult feature.
Yeah, I think it was originally not necessarily R, but was PG-13, and there was a couple moments in the trivia where they talked about one moment that you already mentioned, another moment where they kind of just dubbed it over, which is kind of a funny way to do it,
Sure. But, I don't know.
So
go ahead.
Let's do this. Why don't I read you the 4 taglines? You can tell me which one's the best.
Yes.
We can go through, who wrote this mess, and then we'll talk about trivia and get through some of those details.
I'd love to do all those things, yeah.
Oh, wow.
If you could just refer to me as Guy Fleegman the rest of the podcast, preferable. And I'll call you Saris.
Please. I wish I had that many tentacles. All right. First tagline.
You're almost there.
We'll just need a few more. Yeah, a few more appendages. All right, first one. Simple. Not a surprise here. Never give up. Never surrender.
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
That's great. Mm-hmm.
The show has been canceled, but the adventure has only begun.
Kind of like that, actually. I mean, it's stupid, but I do like it.
How about this? A comedy of galactic proportions.
I don't care for that.
All right, what about this one? Last one. Mm-hmm. These actors are now outer space heroes.
That's terrible.
That's not a tagline.
That's not even a tagline.
That's just a statement.
Yeah. It's like, true or false, these actors are now space heroes.
It really made the galactic proportions look really good.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to circle back on that and say I do like it, because I didn't know how bad it was going to get.
Yeah, so I think out of those, the first one you don't have reference for until you actually watch the movie, so I guess I would pick the third one, the galactic proportions.
Yeah, I'll take the second one.
Yeah, show's been canceled, but the adventure has only begun.
That's what I always say.
Just like every podcast that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Only begun. All right, this one's directed by Dean. I'm going to mess up his name.
I think it's Parasote.
Parasote. Okay, I'm not going to mess up his name. You know what? Dean did a lot of TV work, not a lot of movies necessarily. So, Justified, Monk, which is an interesting crossover because we've got the star of Monk in this show. Reading Rainbow, one of your favorites. The only other big feature film that I recall on the list was Fun with Dick and Jane. You remember that one with Jim Carrey?
I have never seen that movie.
I'm pretty sure I either saw it in theaters or I just remember seeing it and I was like, huh.
No one ever told me I needed to, so I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's not one of his best. So,
one thing about Dean Parasote. My understanding is that this was originally developed as a Harold Ramis movie.
Correct. You're spoiling all of my trivia, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, I think at this point Dean Parasote was had not really done a ton.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the resources and stuff that they budgeted were probably with Harold Ramis in mind. But I think Parasote did a heck of a job. But we'll get there. I don't want to keep stepping on your toes.
That's
Sorry.
right. Written by David Howard and Robert Gordon. David Howard did 2018's Trek, the movie. Ever heard of this?
Is it like an actual Star Trek movie, or is it like
No, it's not related to Star Trek at all. It's about
Okay.
Mormons who get into trouble, basically. And it's apparently like a comedy of sorts.
Okay. No, I've seen Sex Drive. I guess that has Amish people in it. So no, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah. So David Howard did that. I think that was literally the only other thing. So I think this was his first thing that was written. And then Robert Gordon, Men in Black 2, a series of unfortunate events with, I think, Jim Carrey again. So
yeah,
those are the masterminds behind this one. Debut, Christmas 1996. Surprised me that this is a Christmas movie.
What kind of? I would say it feels like a summer movie to me.
It does feel like a summer movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because all the shirts and clothes are coming off. I don't know what.
Yeah.
And rated PG, we talked about this. For some action, violence, mild language, and sensuality.
I mean,
very
little sensuality, but sure. Yeah.
Very little mild language.
Yeah. Right, yeah. It's about as effective as a PG movie can be, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so. This one is an hour and 42-minute runtime. Good. Budget, $45 million. Opening weekend, $7 million. Worldwide gross about $90 million, so doubled the budget.
Yeah, I think it was viewed as a disappointment at the time.
Slight disappointment,
because that's quite a bit of money for like a they would not spend $45 million on a comedy now. We're just kind of at a weird place for cinema where you're either spending hundreds of millions for Marvel movies or you're spending $10 million for an indie, but $50 million movies don't get made a ton. I was gonna ask you, and I suspect, knowing what I know about you, what you'll say, but would this be better as a PG-13 or an R-rated movie? I would normally say everything would be better as a R-rated movie just because it allows a little bit more leeway. But in this case, I would maybe say that it doesn't need that.
No, I don't really know what it would have gained.
Yeah.
It certainly wouldn't have been like as funny and lighthearted,
Right.
I guess. I don't know. I like the way that it turned out.
Okay.
I could see maybe PG-13, but
Yeah.
no, R would have been a different movie for sure.
Like,
So.
you can beef up their like subplot, like the Tim Allen Sigourney Weaver thing, but I don't really need any more of that anyways. I think it's handled well enough. So
Then you're gonna also beef up the runtime, and we don't want that.
I don't want that. No.
No. Let's go in some trivia here. We got lots. The first one I've
Okay.
got is this movie is included in Reader Digest's top 100 funniest movies of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure.
High praise. Star Trek
Yeah.
fans voted it 7th best Star Trek film of all time, which is funny because it's.
Do you get down with the Star Trek stuff? I mean,
I've
like
never really seen any
Okay.
Star Trek thing.
not even the new ones with like Chris Pine.
No, so
Okay.
I can't really weigh in.
those. I kind of like those, but I've never watched the old show. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get what it's parodying here, but I'm not. I don't know much about Captain Kirk and all those guys.
Yeah,
so.
many things are lost on us, I'm sure. Okay, so we've got lots of fun things. I'm going to start with Harold Ramis because you already mentioned that. He wanted to cast Alec Baldwin in the leading role, which he turned down. Steve Martin and Kevin Kline were also considered. But when Tim Allen was cast, Harold Ramis left the project. And then after seeing the film, he said he was ultimately impressed with Tim Allen's performance. Tim Allen's a good actor. Don't we know that by now?
Eat shit, Ramus. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Tim Allen's a good actor. Yeah, Tim Allen's good in this, of course.
All right, the scene where Tim Allen is in the men's room overhearing how the cast of Galaxy Quest are nobodies and all the co-stars can't stand him mirrors an actual event that happened in William Shatner's life.
I have a question about that scene. Okay, if these people, why are those people in that men's room? Like, why are they at the convention?
Yeah, I wondered that as well. It's
Like,
like
they just came to shit on everybody?
it seems like
I
it's in a school, so maybe they had summer school classes or something, and they ended up in the bathroom. I don't know. It is weird.
It looked like a school bathroom, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, you can say all these things, but you are at the event, so what does that say about you?
Well, it's a curiosity. You go there to make fun of people.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Seems like a horrible thing to do. Let's see. Yeah, you talked about how there was a much darker film tone, more scenes of violence, and then they did some test screenings, and they, had to change that. So I guess it did not go over well.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Film was one of the earliest to have its own internet domain and a website, galaxyquest.com.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, instead of being a polished part of the film's marketing campaign, though, the site was in keeping with like the fandom theme, where it was designed to look like a fan page. Remember those JTT fan pages that we had?
Oh yeah, they're still bookmarked.
Yeah, still bookmarked. You go there every once in a while just to look for
Yeah, I
news.
just gotta check it out every once in a while, see what's up. Yeah.
That's good. That's wise of you. During the fight with the rock monster, Commander Taggart loses his shirt, which we both loved. This is a clear nod to Star Trek. The main hero, Captain Kirk, mysteriously lost his shirt in nearly every hand-to-hand fight.
Kind
of
Tim
funny.
Allen looks better than William Shatner with his shirt off, at least in this. It's because his.
You got side-by-side pictures?
Yeah, in my brain.
I thought that was interesting. I mean, this is probably the most robust IMDb trivia page I've ever seen in my life. It's
Yeah, I think we're good. We're good on it though, right?
eons and eons long.
Why don't you give a couple more, and I'm gonna go get my water bottle. Just keep talking.
Justin Long and Rainn Wilson had their debut in cinema here, so exciting for them. And obviously they go on to much fame. And there were plans to release a sequel, but the sudden death of Alan Rickman in 2016 brought that to an end. Very sad. So, what would a sequel explore? Do
Really
you think?
good trivia. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Are you done? Do you want to do more?
I was asking you, what do you think a sequel would have explored here?
Well, I read they wanted to do a TV show.
Yeah, I think there are actually plans to do a TV show. But
Yeah, Paul Scheer was going to write it from How Did This Get Made, but I think it was derailed because of Rickman's death.
Well, there was a sequel planned. I said that during the trivia, but you left like a jerk.
Sorry.
So that was kind of part of the trivia, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they would have gone with something.
I think we're good. I don't think we need any more, frankly.
Yeah, you don't want more of the alien life?
I mean, I would be excited to see Tim Allen like in something kind of good, but beyond that, like, I don't know.
It is a pretty star-studded cast too.
It's really good. Like, I mean, Rockwell is like low bill, and he's won an Oscar. Like, I don't know. Tony Shalhoub is still very busy. There's a lot of really good people in this. Even like Mathazar is played by Enrico Colatoni from like Just Shoot Me and Veronica Mars. I like that guy. Obviously, you got Rainn Wilson in a couple scenes early on. Justin Long, really good. Missy Pyle. I think the cast is really strong. It's surprisingly deep, and you just keep seeing people that are like, oh, I know that person. So.
Yep. So I guess now we talk about what happens in the film.
Yeah,
kind of.
Sure.
So the film opens. They're at a convention right away.
I was gonna ask you. You ever do any convention stuff? You ever done anything like this?
I have not. I mean, usually they're like so expensive. You got to travel places. Although in Orlando, we have this giant convention center right here.
Yeah.
So
you're talking about Disney World? Is that what it's called?
No, the Orlando County Orange County Convention Center. They do like this thing called MegaCon and many, many other things where it's very much like this. But yeah, I've never. I don't know. I guess I would maybe enjoy some things, but I might get sensory overload. It looks like those things are crazy. I'm just never like as big of a fan as those would be. I would consider going to like a D23, which is the Disney Expos.
Yeah.
But other than that, meh.
Got it.
You've gone to Reading and stuff, right? But not necessarily this.
Not like
level.
this. I was trying to think of like a comp. Yeah, I haven't really been to anything like this. I was at a flea market where Butch Patrick from the Munsters was at one time. That was pretty close.
I remember that story.
But like other than that, no, I haven't done a ton of that. I'm not saying I would or wouldn't. I am kind of generally interested in like movies enough to probably go to something like that. But yeah. But
I'm not really a dress up type of guy, so I don't know.
I would not do that.
that would not be our scene. But
no. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're at that convention. Everybody's kind of there, but no one's really happy to be there except for Jason Nesbitt. Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Nesmith, I think, maybe. I don't know. One of the two. And that's Tim Allen, of course. So he's kind of still riding high off the show, resting on his laurels. Everyone else is just kind of embarrassed at the fact that they have to keep doing it, especially Alan Rickman's character, who I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, his name is Alexander Dane.
Sir Alexander Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't need to go scene by scene here necessarily and do all that kind of stuff.
I like the opening. I'm a sucker like for movies that start like. It starts with, like, the fictitious kind of footage or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, on the show. And I always like that. And, like, the aspect ratio changes. So, like, in the beginning you're watching it and it's smaller.
Right.
And then, the screen kind of widens and stuff. And I do always enjoy that. And I think, like, they end in a similar way, too, and I really like that. It was kind of hard for me to gauge, like... So is the cast of the show, like, destitute? And that's why they're doing this? But, like, Jason... Nesmith is not. Like, we see his house. He's got a house in the Hollywood Hills. So I was kind of confused, like, why are they doing this?
I think it's just easy money.
Easy money? Okay.
Quite the demand. Can you imagine, I don't know, 3 years from now, people just, like, clamoring for more home and podcasts and, like, it would be easy money. You just go there, you show up, you shake a few hands, you sign a few autographs, maybe record a live pod or something.
Yeah. I kind of liked how Jason was not like that. He actually enjoyed it, because I feel like usually it's like
the opposite way around.
Yeah, he would like hate it. Instead the supporting cast kind of hates it. But I found it to be kind of refreshing, the fact that he was sort of into it, and like I don't know. I know we're supposed to think it's kind of pathetic, but I actually sort of thought it was kind of nice. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know, he's kind of proud of what he did. He's engaged.
He's engaging with the fans. He really enjoys it. He brings a lot of joy to the fans. Whereas,
I thought it was kind of good.
Sir Alexander Dane is like ready to throw a pen at somebody every time
Sure.
they talk about his famous lines and stuff.
Grassbar's hammer. Yeah, I think. What was I gonna say? Another reason why this movie works in a way that a lot of Tim Allen movies don't work is like I know that they want us to think he's kind of a jerk in the beginning, but really he's just a little bit arrogant. In most Tim Allen movies, they make him so unlikable and like just like a facsimile of like a human being that like you can never really get on board. But with this one, you know, he's a little cocky in the beginning, and yeah, he's probably trying to sell out his cast. Like, he's gonna do things without them to make money. Like, he doesn't, I don't know, he doesn't care a ton about them. He's just a little bit selfish, but like he's not just this like egotistical jerk like you see in like Jungle to Jungle or like, I don't know.
They try the way that the other cast acts, you would think he would have been more.
Yeah, they really disliked him more than what we see, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if you agree with that, but I feel like this is a softer role and therefore a little easier to get on board with.
Maybe since it's PG, they, toned it down a little bit. I don't know. I guess Jungle to Jungle is probably PG too, but...
Oh, that was a hard R. Don't you remember the full frontal scene?
That was at, what was it? Was it NC-17 or something?
Yeah, I think it was NC-17. It was rated X. It was crazy.
Maybe Siku just...
The Disney Plus edit is probably really challenging to get through because they probably take everything out.
All right. Yeah, I didn't necessarily write down the scene order either, so we're just gonna have to talk about scenes that we enjoyed.
I got the Wikipedia up, so I can kind of scroll through here. Yeah, so it's like it's a first day at the convention. We find out later in the movie it's a 3-day convention, which is like, I don't know what you're doing days 2 and 3, but I guess the first
it would
day,
be different if it was like a convention of like all these different fandoms, but we see
but
it's just them.
Galaxy Quest. Yeah.
But I guess I mean, we're not Trekkies, so it's hard for us to know, but I bet a Star Trek convention could be a 3-day convention.
For sure. So. Yeah. And you got Guy Fleegman, who's played by Sam Rockwell, who is just like kind of a hanger-on. He was like in one episode.
He dies.
Yeah, is he always hanging out with the cast? Like, they don't seem to really know him.
I think maybe he's like near this town or something.
Okay,
you know what I mean? And he just showed up.
He's really funny in this, and like
he's probably, I don't know, he might be the best person in this movie.
He's really good, and like Sam Rockwell used to just do this where he would just like pop up in movies for like 30 minutes, like really small roles, and you'd be like, man, that guy's good, and eventually he got more opportunities. But yeah, he's super funny. I think a lot of people in this movie are funny. I mean, I actually think Shaloub is quite good as well, just like very
he was actually kind of
weird.
He was almost too weird for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Well,
you didn't like him getting with the alien woman?
Maybe it was just his facial expression all the time. It was really weird. I don't know. He seemed like very absent-minded, and sometimes I thought it was funny, and other times it was just like, no, come on, man. So I don't know. He's maybe my least favorite, but yeah,
wow.
it's not like I don't think anyone really has a bad performance here.
What about Saris? I hate that guy, right?
Okay, well, I'm talking about the main cast.
No, Saris. All right, so at the convention, the Thermians show up, and they're the actual aliens, and they request his help, and he thinks it's just like cosplay, but of course they're actual aliens. And he's also sort of confusing what they're asking him. He thinks that he's maybe got a gig the next day where he's gonna like bail on the cast, and they're kind of mad about that. But
I think he already has a gig lined up with other people, and he confuses them for these people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's like it's not with the other cast of Galaxy Quest.
Right. Yeah, he's doing it on his own.
Yeah. And they're like resentful. Were they filming something in that basement? Like, he seemed like they were going to film something. Like, were they going to do more of the show, or am I wrong in that?
What basement?
I heard something about filming in a basement. No, maybe that was the part where I fell asleep. Okay. I swear.
I don't remember that. It could be something that happened.
Okay, so he goes home, and he's like sad because he heard the he heard people.
He heard
calling
nobody
him a
likes
loser.
him. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he gets trashed, right?
He gets trashed. Wakes up the next morning. These aliens pick him up in a limousine like he asked for, and he like passes out because he's tired, and then he wakes up and Jordan, he's on a ship.
He's on
It's
the NSEA Protector.
yes.
The actual, it was the starship from Galaxy Quest that's been rebuilt by the Thermians because these Thermians, they think that's real. They think that show is real, and they have built everything to the exact specifications in hopes that this crew could come and save them from their enemy, Ceres.
Oh, don't even. It's like Voldemort. Don't even say it. Too scary.
Who demands the Omega-13, a secret super weapon.
Yeah. Ceres is
Creepy.
I thought he was scary looking when I was young, and he still is.
He's
scary
still
looking.
very scary looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine how much makeup and stuff went into that?
Yeah, a lot, because like it's all just none of the stuff is like CGI'd on or whatever. You know, like it's all just like I'm sure it was super uncomfortable.
Ugh.
Guy gives a good performance. Whoever played Ceres.
Oh, I have that
Robin
here.
Sachs got it.
Do I know Robin Sachs? That sounds like a very familiar name.
Robin Sachs. I bet he's British. I'm just.
I
guess.
see multiple pictures of him all. He's in The Lost World, Mass Effect 3, Ocean's 11.
He is British. He's been in a lot of stuff. I think it's funny. I don't remember which part of the movie, but like you said, they do think that they've gotten these transmissions of shows and they think it's like historical record, they call it. And somebody references Gilligan's Island and they're like mournful. They say those poor people. It's as if it was an actual really bad disaster, but it's pretty funny. Jason's just kind of thrown into it, and he still thinks it's like
fake.
I don't know. He thinks
He's
he
like,
thinks
you
it's
guys
fake.
are really overboard, basically.
Yeah, and he starts like giving like fake orders or whatever, and he does defeat Ceres temporarily.
Yeah, he like just basically says, all right, let's get rid of this Joker, and he's like, fire the cannons, and then he's like, peace out, and they send him back home.
Yeah.
And as he's like transported back home, he's like, oh my gosh, that was real.
Yeah.
So now he's... Go ahead.
I was going to say, special effects in this movie held up pretty well for me.
Yeah, they're fine. I mean, you can tell they're a little dated, but they're not... I don't know.
Yeah.
They're not...
I mean, it's been like 20 plus years. I thought it looked pretty solid, all things considered.
Yeah, we couldn't do better, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, Jason is now back on Earth, and he's like running to the next gig with his cast, and trying to tell them all about what happened, and they're all just basically like F off,
Right.
And yeah, I mean, Ceres returns, attacks the Protector again. I mean, there's not much else to that scene, right? I don't know. He just basically is explaining to them what's going on.
Yeah, he comes back, explains to them what's happened, and then like pretty shortly thereafter, the Thermians return. They're like, "Hey, Ceres is not gone. We need you to come back up." And somehow like slowly, the rest of the crew is brought up on the ship with Jason.
Oh man! And everyone sees that Jason is not lying.
Yeah.
And they meet Ceres again, who, he's attacking the Protector this time. Things are not going as well.
No.
Everyone's kind of sitting, in their proper places or whatever, as they used to. I thought it was kind of funny that, like, the ship's navigator or whatever, the driver, was like a kid. Why was he a kid on the first show?
Because it's from, like, the 80s.
I know, but why did they cast a kid?
Oh, like in the original show?
Yeah, why would they?
I don't know. He's probably like some like little genius.
Okay, yeah, it was just.
Hey, ever heard of Young Sheldon?
Oh, unfortunately, I have. You mean CBS's #1 comedy?
Yeah, right. Okay. I like this actor because he goes by Daryl Chill Mitchell, and like, not in this movie, but in a lot of his movies, he's credited with the Chill in his middle name.
Huh.
Cool. Yeah, Daryl Chill Mitchell.
So that's his middle name.
Before you say anything bad, he is now paralyzed. So
is he really?
Yeah, he had a bad accident, but he does still act. So
he seems recognizable to me.
Does a lot of NCIS stuff, from what I can tell.
Did you know that the young kid was Corbin Bleu?
Is that a High School Musical guy?
Yeah. Which
That's cool.
I've never really watched, but it was just like you were talking about the list that goes deep of this cast. Yeah, there's another one.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, cast the crew little by little. They figure out it's real. Doesn't take them. Fortunately, this isn't one of those movies where like they have to spend a lot of time being convinced, because that's always kind of annoying. Like I don't know. You've seen this kind of thing happen before, and some movies it takes like 15, 20 minutes, and they have to like see something really a million crazy things. It's like a movie about ghosts or something where like like somebody sees a ghost once and they're like, I don't know, and they have to see a ghost like 30, 40 times before they believe it. Somebody has to die. But this movie is not like that, so I appreciate that.
They didn't have time for 40 ghosts.
No, this is a quick 97 minutes, and man, I love a 97-minute movie. Good Lord.
It is a lost art. Real quick, you want to know why he's Daryl Chill Mitchell?
Yeah, please tell me.
And his first two appearances in movies were in House Party and House Party 2, where he plays the role of Chill. So,
okay.
Must have been quite an iconic role to have that just be his like moniker for the rest of his life. So
sometimes you wonder maybe too if there is like another Daryl Mitchell and SAG or something. We ran into this with Craig Nelson.
That's true.
That's true.
Boy, when we figured that out, we were just a bunch of sleuths.
It was you. I got to give you full credit on that one. And it was perhaps one of your most brilliant moments
ever. I couldn't do anything like that. We didn't mention at the very beginning of the movie, and they're going to come up later. There were some very nerdy. High school, I don't know, maybe their first year of college or something like that, fans of the show they met Tim after he was very upset. He had overheard that conversation, and they were trying to get him, they knew every detail of the show, and so they were trying to get him to like reconcile something that didn't make sense. Justin Long, who plays Brandon, and two friends are there as well. And we're going to see them later, but not quite yet. I just wanted to mention them before we get to them, because they are pivotal.
There's an exchange of, I don't know, like a walkie-talkie sort of thing as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they have like communicators, and he like bumps into him, and so...
It's a bit underdeveloped. They have it happen in the beginning of the movie, and then at the end it's like, oh yeah.
There is a really long delay between their appearances, so it did...
I know, it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are we?
Did you notice who Brandon's mom was? It was George's fiance, Heidi from Seinfeld.
Heidi?
Or not
Susan?
Heidi. Susan, sorry. Yeah.
Heidi.
Home Improvement on the Brain. Yeah, it was Susan from Seinfeld.
Classic.
So yeah, where were we? Saris is there. He tries to confess to Mathazar, who is the leader, that it's a TV show, and he's like on his deathbed seemingly, and he has to like deliver. It's a really good scene for Tim. It's very like heartfelt and kind of slower and kind of quiet, and it's
very different from
Tim.
The tone of the rest of the movie.
For sure, good Tim Allen acting. They do that a couple times in this where they slow things down and get a little bit emotional. As far as like, I didn't really understand what they were trying to get throughout the movie.
The Omega-13?
Yeah, I don't really. You're gonna have to explain it to me, or you're just gonna tell me it's like gibberish, because I don't really. I know it's important, and I know it's sort of like a Maltese Falcon in a lot of ways. We're working towards something that doesn't actually matter, but I didn't really. I don't know.
Oh, it very much matters. So nobody knows what it does. Basically, it is something from the TV show. Apparently, the cast on the show didn't pay enough attention to what it does.
Okay.
I don't really understand how they recreated it if they don't know what it does, but yeah, it's basically Saris thinks it's like this crazy weapon, and the Thermians think it's something that could like destroy all of space, time.
And the Thermians' like entire planet is pretty much desolate, right? Because of Saris.
I think that happens in between these two things, possibly, like when Saris comes back. It's not really clear, but it just the way the tone kind of shifts for the Thermians, it seems like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're after the Omega-13. We don't know what it is yet, but just wait. It's going to be very pivotal. They're talking about, how things are a little bit different, so Daryl Mitchell has to learn how to fly the ship, so there's a little time for him to do that. He doesn't really know what he's doing because it's a real spaceship. So that is, I guess they didn't do a montage for that necessarily, but it certainly could have been a montage moment. And then they're talking with Gwen DeMarco's character about how she was always kind of stupid. She just repeated the computer over and over, and everybody wanted to see her boobs. So as the movie goes on, her shirt just continues to zip down.
Yeah.
Guy Fleegman struggles a lot with just like waiting for himself to die, basically.
Yeah, he just is always convinced he's gonna die. I thought the Sigourney Weaver scenes where like she is repeating what the computer says back to her were funny, and they're like,
funny.
We don't need you to do that. She's like, it's the only thing that I do.
Yeah, this is my thing. Don't take that away from me. So it gets to the point where I don't exactly remember. Oh, they're like out of power. They escape from Ceres, basically, but they're out of power, and they need this beryllium something.
Yeah.
To fix the ship and be able to get out of there, basically. And so they land on this planet that has it, and they go on the land, and they see these like little weird creatures.
Yeah.
And they're the creepiest thing in the movie. They're creepier than Ceres. They're creepier than the tentacled Thermians. They're creepy to me.
For me, Ceres is the creepiest, but I respect your opinion.
I don't know. It's just something about like the childishness with like the fangs and
Well, as a father, I'm sure it freaked you out. Yeah.
yeah, that's the problem. So anyways, they end up on this planet.
It's like a rock planet. I saw they filmed it out in like the Utah desert. It looks pretty cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah, it's very deserted and a lot of cool like rock
everyone
formations.
kind of escapes except for Jason Nesmith.
Yeah,
and he is knocked out by these little things, but not eaten like they
loses
expect.
that shirt though. Takes that shirt off, right?
Is it that?
Hell yeah!
Did it happen yet?
It's about to.
Yeah. So they're all surrounding him. It's like Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok. They're in these arenas, like gladiators, and they're chanting, but we don't know what they're chanting for until this rock formation. Well, initially they think it's this pig. And it's just kind of a warm-up. And
a classic warm-up pig.
Classic warm-up pig. And then the rock monster comes. And everyone scatters. And now Jason Nesmith must fight the rock monster with nothing, really. Shirt comes off. Fight ensues. I don't really remember how he escapes,
This is how we call on Shaloub, Fred Kwan, who's the tech sergeant. And he has to, figure out... He has to, aim and... basically, Tim is going to get cut, Jason is going to get cut up into 1,000 pieces and then brought back together. And they do it with the warthog or whatever it is, and it comes back inside out, and it's just very, very gross. Mm-hmm. But then they do have to do it with Jason, and it fortunately does work out.
It's only made for humans. That's what they learn.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, it was good we didn't see Tim Allen inside out, because that would have been disturbing.
Be a weird end to this movie.
Wouldn't that be something?
But you know what? They've got their ship... up and running again, and it's time. I mean, maybe it's not, but it seems like it's time for the final moment with Ceres. I think we talked about Ceres earlier and kind of that heartfelt moment. I think that's happening now when they're back on the ship because they feel good about being on the ship, and then they get on the ship and Ceres is there and everyone else is in trouble. Mm-hmm. It's going bad.
Yeah, I think... And, as far as what happens when, you get a softening of the relationship between Jason and Alexander Dane. There's a scene where they have to create sort of a distraction and they fight each other. But you get the feeling that there's maybe a mutual respect. And Tim is kind of settling into his role as a leader. And everybody's sort of settling into their respective roles on the ship and kind of taking them in earnest a bit seriously. Alexander leads the Thermians against Ceres. Yeah, I'm trying to think where we're at exactly.
Well, I mean, they're at one point
they have to go back in time.
Well, that's towards the end here, but basically Ceres is going to one by one kill the Galaxy Quest people, and that's when they start the fight. They start a fake fight so they can steal the guns. We see at one point. There's a Thermian who's in love with, not in love, but is very much admires Sir Alexander Dane, who played Dr. Lazarus.
Right.
Thinks of him as a father of sorts. Yeah, they go on a mission together, and Dr. Lazarus has a new respect for, I guess, the Thermians and his character, and they're trying to take the ship back from Ceres and his evil crew. Meanwhile, the Thermians are like slowly getting killed in this room because they're losing oxygen, and so there's time running out. Tim, but Jason Nesmith and Gwen DeMarco have to go through vents and all sorts of other things.
I like the scene. I remember when I was young where they have to go through where it's like the metallic like crunching together,
and they could never get through that.
Yeah.
Unless they call.
Yeah.
They call in somebody who knows just everything about the internal ship.
Right, the combination. Yeah, I really like that part. I don't know, I just got a kick out of that.
So they do call Justin Long and all the nerd friends, and they kind of get online, and they're walking them through like the exact sequence. They're going through all the tunnels, they know all that stuff, and then they figure out what the Omega-13 does, which is the thing that takes you 13 seconds back into the past. They, eventually they're rescuing the Thermians. Everyone's there. They're going on the deck. And they've got it all taken care of, but Ceres has cloaked himself.
This guy,
Jerk Ceres, has cloaked himself and turned...
as Shaloub. That's why you don't like Shaloub. You're scared of him.
Yeah, a little bit. That kind of stuck with me. So he, shoots everyone, and everyone's almost dead until they break out the Omega-13, go back in time. Just 13 seconds is all they needed. Yep. Before it was all too late, and Tim tackles Shaloub, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" And they found out that it is Ceres, and they saved the Protector.
Yes.
And they saved the Thermians.
Yeah. So, and basically rolling to a close here. They depart from Tim. Kind of gives Mathazar the title of leader. Of the Thermians, sort of dons him as leader. Brandon helps the Galaxy Quest crew get back, conveniently bringing them right into the convention. Probably killed some people when they landed, I thought, maybe.
Unexplained.
Could have.
The fans are happy, though.
I really like the ending, though. I don't know. I just think it's like a really fun ending. They crash into it just as they're about to come out, and everybody thinks it's like part of the show. And the guy introduces their names, and they come out to standing ovation from the audience.
Sam Rockwell is now famous.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell is now famous. Shaloub brought an alien girlfriend back with him, so we'll see how that goes. Ceres comes back. I didn't remember that, but Jason disposes of him very quickly, so don't even worry about it.
Fisticuffs ensue.
The crowd goes crazy. Tim
it's a full circle movie. They start at the convention, they end at the convention.
I like it. It's very cyclical. Tim pays his respect to Brandon and the nerds, and then we get the ending credits where Galaxy Quest has been brought back. And there's new members, including Guy Fleegman as Sam Rockwell, but he's playing now Security Chief Rock Ingersoll. Not sure why, but he's now part of it. And then they also get Leilari, and they say, Jane Doe is her real name.
Right.
And, yeah, it's cool. Same credits, starts with the credits, ends with the credits. In this kind of reboot culture, Jordan, I thought it was very, very kind of on brand for the sort of things we see all the time. And that's roll credits fade to black on Galaxy Quest. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. Fun to watch. Perhaps the things that were strange for me, I mean, maybe the tying in Justin Long's character was a little underdeveloped. You kind of forgot about
they should
it
have
for
just
an hour and a half.
Yeah, they needed to cut to him in the middle a couple more times. I felt like
just to keep that thread going a little bit. The Omega-13, I don't know. It's just I'm never a giant fan of time travel stuff. So it's the travel back into the past by 13 seconds,
Yeah.
Stupid. Kind of a stupid little gimmick.
I guess I just don't care about any of the actual.
Yeah, I mean that's not why we're here.
I care about the relationships. I don't know.
I said this earlier, but Sam Rockwell for me just really great in this movie. I really enjoyed his
he's super
character. Tim Allen great, Sigourney Weaver great, Alan Rickman good, Tony Shalhoub he was all right. He creeped me out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was, yeah. I mean, everybody did fine. It was an enjoyable movie. That's kind of how I felt.
All right. Was it as good as you remembered, or meet your expectations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't mention Rainn Wilson either, did we?
Yeah, he's like just in it in the beginning, but then he like disappears. I guess he got a TV pilot or something, had to leave.
Yeah, he's a Thermian, so he's a little weird to begin with, but he's on there for a little bit. So.
Yeah, I liked it. Really good cast. I thought there were some good jokes to be had. It really moves at a pretty good pace. Like I said, 97 minutes. I'm a sucker for the fake intro. I think the ending is really strong. I'm not a big sci-fi fan, so like when you talk about like Omega-13 and like self-destruct mechanisms and all that stuff, I don't really care about that. But it keeps the plot moving, and I don't think that it gets like bogged down and all that stuff.
That is a high point. Like nothing's ever like too long to be.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of that, which for me is fine. It's a satire. Like it's not supposed to be the actual
sophisticated.
thing, so,
yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to. Yeah, great cast, lots of laughs. Enjoy seeing Tim Allen in like a likable, good role. Yeah, it held up. I had a good time watching it, and yeah, no complaints whatsoever, really. I mean, like you said, the Justin Long thing is maybe a little bit whatever, but I don't know. He's not a big character, so it's no big deal as far as I'm concerned.
Did you have any notes from that documentary that you watched that you wanted to mention?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I think I probably mentioned some of this on the Home and Podcast episode, but like when Tim delivers the line to Mathazar about like it being like a TV show, I know Spielberg was like on set that day because he was executive producing, and he was really impressed by Tim's acting. Other things, yeah, just that it was supposed to be harder R, then they took it down. I think originally there was the implication they weren't going to have the limousine sucked up by the spaceship. They were just going to have him fall asleep, so that maybe there was the thought that it was just a dream, or he was kind of like, I don't know, hungover or something. I think that would have been kind of stupid, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that you really need that sort of like, I wonder. Other things that I remember. I remember reading that like Tim Allen was deciding between this and Bicentennial Man.
I read that too.
Yeah, that movie I don't like.
I had to watch that in that college class, I think.
Oh, really? Yeah, I remember I watched it in the theater for a birthday party, and it was not a great birthday
I was going to
movie.
say, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, and boring too, for kids.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not. Maybe it was PG, but it's definitely not a kids movie.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, there's talk of a TV show. It seems like it probably won't happen without. It's funny. I don't think they wouldn't. I think it's not a matter of like because Alan Rickman's passed away, they wouldn't do it. Like they'll do it if like they think they can make money or whatever. Like no one's that precious. But I think at this point it might be kind of hard to get everyone together. I think Tim's pretty busy. I think Sam Rockwell's busy. Sigourney. I just wonder if you could get all these people in a room again together
so you're
and make it
basically
work.
just casting a whole new cast and.
Yeah, and I don't think that's worthwhile, really. But
probably not.
But yeah, I enjoyed watching it. It was good. Good to watch a good movie. I already know what I want to do for the last Patreon episode. So.
Oh, do you want to release? Are you telling me now, or?
Yeah, I'll say it right now. We need to watch this for Patreon because I won't watch it any other way. And the film is Joe Somebody.
Oh,
so get
man.
ready. Get ready. I saw it with my sister when I turned 12 on my birthday, so I have fond memories.
You mentioned this one before, and well, what a way to end the podcast.
I remember it being pretty good, so I'm looking forward to it. I know it's not going to actually be good like this movie is. Here's the final question for you. Which one do you like better, Santa Claus or Galaxy Quest?
Oh, man, they're so different.
I'm probably going to say Santa Claus because I could see myself returning to it, and I think it's a little bit timeless.
Yeah, you gotta watch. You can watch that every year. Galaxy Quest, you're not really going to do that.
Yeah, so for me it's Santa Claus, but it is close, and they're both very good.
Yeah, this is. I guess this. I mean, I can't think of all the ones off the top of my head, but this is the second best Tim Allen movie we watched. So.
Yeah, I mean, number one
for richer or poor.
For Rich or Poor, number 2, Nothing But Trouble. 3,
Big Trouble is what it's called.
Oh, no, it's Nothing But Trouble.
It is definitely trouble.
There's trouble somewhere. All right. Well, hey, man. We'll do Joe Somebody sometime before October. Yeah.
Well, this will come out in August. So yeah, that seems about right.
Thank you to our patrons who help us.
Supported us through and through this whole thing.
Help us pay the rent, keep the lights on, as it were. Hope you're listening. Hope you maybe enjoy this. I've never heard anyone say anything about a Patreon episode.
I've only heard it like once.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they give any data? No, right?
Not really, no.
Nah, okay, so we don't know. These might just be our lost tapes. No one ever listens to them.
They'll make their way to the main feed every 3 years.
That's true. All right, well, hey, Jordan. I don't know how I sign off on these. I guess I'm just gonna say I'm done. Like, let's stop, okay?
Yeah, I think I might even do the sign off.
Okay, do it.
I don't remember what I say.
Then why don't you just do it already?
You know what? I had a pleasure talking to you, and this was a great film to cover. So I think it's time for our hip-hop music to take us out.
Let's play that hip-hop music by Grathbar's Hammer. Bye, Jordan. Bye.